2 weeks.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome, guys.
How are we doing?
It's been 2 weeks. I don't know what to do with myself.
It has been 2 weeks, but I feel like there's been a reason why we skipped last week.
Yeah. Well, because I wasn't here.
Yeah.
I was stuck in Missouri.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's just
I have arrived.
Yeah. I'm glad you're back.
Thank you.
It's been
You, hold on. We got back and Nick and I went out. And you kept being like, Francesca, like, I'm so happy you're back. And I was kind of drunk and I thought you were being facetious and I was getting upset.
Really?
Yeah.
I do not remember this.
You were like, no, Francesca, it's really awesome to have you back. And you like put your arm on my shoulder. And I was like, are you like screwing with me? I was like, stop, Nick. Like, are you upset? Like, are you? And you were like, no, I'm like really glad you're back. And I was like, suspect. I was getting like mad at you. You were just trying to be nice.
I don't think I even picked that up. I was just probably like, all right, well.
I was just like.
Well, I mean, where'd you go?
I went to St. Louis for my best friend's wedding.
Right. The same wedding that was for the bachelor trip in Tulum and everything, right?
Did I explain that she married a Piazza?
Yeah, I think we talked about it.
I don't know. Anyway, my best friend married a Piazza, but no relation. So now we're the Piazza sisters. But her fiance, we like met in Croatia. It's honestly ridiculous.
Make it make sense.
Yeah. But now my best friend's a Piazza, and we're just still related now. Although we don't know if we're related to him. I mean,
we could be.
It's possible.
I mean, there's not a lot of like Piazzas, you know. I mean, I've met a few actually.
No, I think it's like a popular name over there.
Wait, can I tell you something really weird? Mm-hmm. I was at Guitar Center in Missouri. Okay, and so some of you know, we're from St. Louis, and this guy, his name tag, it said Mike Piazza, and I was like, oh, Mike Piazza, and then he was about to be like, yeah, am I related to Mike Piazza? Which everyone asks us.
It's my whole life.
Are you related to Mike Piazza? Yeah. No,
he's like an older Mets player.
He's a pitcher or catcher. Catcher. He was a catcher,
and he's cool. There are worse things to be associated with your last name.
Yeah.
But it is like the baseball player. Are you related? And I'm like, no.
So that's what I asked him. But I was like, oh, Mike, that's what he thought I was asking him.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, no, I asked because my last name's Piazza. He was like, oh, really? Like, are you Italian? I was like, duh. And then, like, yeah, we are. And then he was like, where's your family from? And I was like, Missouri. He was like, oh, same. And I was like, oh. And like, we just kind of like, oh, good to see you, Mike. I don't know. And then that was it. I don't know.
So you're probably related.
Yeah. I mean, we were probably distant cousins because Missouri with the last name, it kind of looked like me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I was like, we're definitely cousins. Like, but anyway.
But that's St. Louis. It's the smallest, biggest town.
It's the smallest, biggest town, yeah.
So there's 3 million people in St. Louis, but everyone knows everyone. Mm-hmm. And like family names are like a thing.
Yeah, it is a thing for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually at a salad bar once. At like some
Guitar
church
Center
salad bar. No, at some like church function for the summer camp, but it was like in Belleville, Illinois, and this woman started talking to me. She was like, "Oh, you're Nick Piazza," and I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Oh, I'm your cousin, actually." And I was like, "Oh no," but no, it turns out she was related to Sue Piazza.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a distant marriage, but she kind of like knew of me, and I didn't know of her, but I was like, "Oh," but like, "Oh, cool. Salad bar talk." I'm your fucking cousin.
Yeah, I was on a date once.
Oh,
yeah. So I was on a date in St. Louis, and did I tell this? Because it's how I know John O'Connell.
Yeah, I think we told this. Shit.
Did you guys know that we don't know what's on the podcast?
People listen to the podcast and be like, I love it. And I'm like, great. Couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell you what's on it. Nick knows more because he edits, but like people tell me things and I'm like, I didn't say that. And they're like, pretty sure you did. They're like, oh, my favorite part was this. And I was like, I wasn't even drinking. I think we just like talk.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I want to let you guys know that you're here, but we're not.
No, we're just
so.
I'm glad everybody else. No, people tell me what's on it all the time, and I'm like, damn, we said that.
Yeah.
I'm like, spicy. I don't think I can tell the story. I'm pretty sure it's on. If it's not, people are just like, tell us.
Tell the story, bitch. No. Well, you went back to this wedding. Okay. Let's just start there. Okay.
I went for my best friend's wedding. But was also confusing. So everyone got the programs. And did we talk about this last week?
No. What?
Because I was going to the wedding. Did I talk about how like the whole family was like, God, I
don't know.
Okay. Anyway, so we found out so everybody gets like the invites and go to the wedding website, and the wedding party, it's like Francesca Piazza.
Right.
So all the Piazzas were like calling each other, like the aunts, the mom, the grandma. They're like, who the F is Francesca? Do we have some distant cousin and she's in the wedding over me? Like, I don't even know this bitch. Why did she make it? And they're like, no. It's just like the bride's best friend. And they're like, but she has our last name. Like what?
Yeah. And you also kind of look like Eddie Piazza.
Yes, because we're Italian. We all look the same.
I know.
Oh, I'm like dark and hairy.
Yeah.
Like, great cheekbones. I don't know. I don't have a big nose. You didn't really get a giant nose.
But I have like a strong bridge. You know what I mean?
You have a strong nose.
I have a strong bridge.
You have really big nose holes. Yeah. Not as big as like, is it Max that has really big ones? My
Max
brother?
does.
And grandpa, right?
I've never noticed my grandfather's nose holes. No.
Okay. I went to a wedding. The biggest issue was I had a very expensive dress that could not be altered, and I couldn't eat for 2 weeks. And I almost like didn't want to like tell people that because like, dude, Kim Kardashian was like on the red carpet.
I know. And she did the crash diet for like,
she was like, yeah, I haven't eaten carbs in like 6 weeks because I had to fit into Marilyn Monroe's dress, and like other celebrities like came for her.
Yeah.
They're like, women, like young girls look up to you. This is horrible. And like, in a way, I think just for a dress, it's not like I starved myself completely. I ate.
Highly doubt it.
No, I know. I'm Italian. I eat.
Yeah, for sure.
I've never gone. Right. I mean, I'm sure I have at some point, but I'm a strong eater. I don't have an eating problem, but it's like, the wedding's in 2 weeks. It can't be altered. I have to fit into it.
Right.
There's not another.
I mean, like, what are you going to do?
It's not another option.
Wear a suit?
There's also an absurdly expensive bridesmaid dress. Like most people would not, but I bit the bullet and did it. And so I also couldn't drink because not eating and then drinking.
Right.
I tried
Horrible
that
combo.
that was 2 weeks ago. I tried that one day. Really ended badly for me. So I was sober. I didn't eat any dairy. I had some eggs. I don't know, but it fit. It's like the greatest feeling.
Good.
It like zipped. We looked great. And like I've been eating some pizza the past couple days. Actually, this is getting a little tight because mom bought it for me.
Oh, while you could fit in the dress?
You guys know when like your mom would buy you new clothes for the first day of school?
Yeah.
Like when I was home, my mom took me shopping, but like she also took Nick shopping, and like the only new clothes we've gotten in the past like 6 months.
Yeah. What she bought us. I know. I've been wearing this out, and people are like, "Oh my god, so nice!" And I've just been wearing it every day, and people are like, "So nice."
I've worn this 3 days this week, and people are gonna be like, people have seen it on the Instagram, but I was like, oh, like it's like that new limited 2 outfit your mom got you,
right?
That like you wear it, like you're like, can I wear it again?
Can I? Yeah.
Do they remember? They do.
Mm-hmm.
Someone stopped me and they go, "Oh yeah, that's from Express. Like your mom bought it for you." They go, "I don't know. I fucking saw it on your story." It was a dude. He's like, "I hate that I know that."
Well,
looks good.
It looks good. It looks good.
Situation,
but it hasn't been on the podcast yet. So
no, so that's
why it's okay.
I'm business casual for the podcast today.
Business casual.
Yeah, although almost more business, not that casual.
You know, I was thinking for like, this is just like my type of humor. This might not be your thing. Just like doing really stupid costumes or almost like themes, like business casual, or this one, we're playing lemonade stand outside for the podcast. And we just wear like,
oh, you're saying like every day we do something different?
Yeah. Like if we just have an idea for like no context whatsoever, has nothing to do with what we talk about.
Like it's farmers.
Like farmers in lawn chairs in our back patio.
I love a theme, Nick.
I know.
I'm going to start buying wigs.
Wigs?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't like.
She's blonde. She's blonde this podcast episode.
I mean, sometimes it's like I don't want to like
Yeah.
Well, actually, technically the podcast no one sees, but now because the videos are doing better
And better.
than the podcast. The podcast is doing amazing. It keeps doing better. And we're getting people from videos now.
Yeah.
But like the Instagram gods have smiled.
Some of our clips are doing really well.
Yeah.
Actually, all of our clips are doing well. Everything I post, I'm like, oh.
No, it's weird.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're at 100 views. The next day you're at 15,000 and you're like,
I literally posted this one and like the numbers climb weirdly, right? And so I posted it and it was like after 5 minutes it got like 30 views. After, 10 minutes it got, 50 views. And then I swear like I just drove like down the street and I just checked it again like while I was driving and it was just like 300 likes, 80 follows, 15K hit. I was like literally in a drive down the street. Like,
and go ahead.
No, it was like the length of a Demi Lovato song.
But this is what's upsetting about social media.
Yeah.
And is like sometimes like the algorithm like decides.
Yeah.
And of course you have to like, you're testing content, what works. And we're kind of figuring out that we're like, wow, like this format works. And even like you change the color of the text or just different things.
Yeah.
But that's what's scary about social media. And we've talked about is that let's say you build a following. There's a lot of people out there that like you have 200,000 followers and that's your full-time job. Then what if like your account gets deleted?
Just oops. Well, that
there's your job.
Yeah.
Like,
that
and you have to start from zero. And you can, some people look for you, but for the most part, you've got to like build again.
Yeah.
And if you believe in your content, you're consistent, you got those people, then you'll get them back.
Yeah, you will. And sometimes I feel like almost the algorithm like can facially recognize your face. So like
show it to your people.
Like why does Lady Gaga she started like a fake TikTok or like a Finsta, but for TikTok. And then she just made this one post. It was just her face going like this. And everyone was like, holy shit, that's her fake account. And it went viral, but it's just like, how did it know to go viral off of that one?
Yeah.
If it didn't push it out to anyone. You know what I mean?
So a Finsta, guys, is a fake Insta. And a lot of famous people, I know models when I was in New York, they would be like, oh, like my Instagram has to be a professional because it's basically your online portfolio nowadays to get hired for models. But they want to like post funny things that their agency can't say. You know who had a Finsta.
Yeah.
And so it's just like their close friends. So it only has 30 followers and they actually get to post like funny, cool pics.
Right. It's all,
but then they're like more so because it's like private and then they can post whatever. Gosh, think of like certain celebrities' Finstas, like how like, but just I don't know.
Out of control.
No, because they couldn't trust anybody not to screenshot.
Yeah.
It's too risky.
I mean, Miley Cyrus, she had when the whole salvia, when she was smoking the bong out of the salvia, or the salvia out of the bong. Yeah.
I thought it was weed.
Oh, I thought it was salvia. Oh. But it was like her best friend that like uploaded that. And then dropped
She lost the Walmart deal.
Yeah. Like a $1 million Walmart deal at 17 because her friend posted a dumb video of her.
Yeah, see, it's not worth it.
Could you imagine? Like, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm just getting in trouble by my grandpa. Sorry. I don't think about this. Okay, so here's something I have to learn. As we're like getting more like people watching our stuff.
Right.
I have to realize that like I am an open book and like I do not mind. And to the point where my mom's like, maybe people don't need to hear that. Maybe you should like hold back. But I decided I've always loved like being public and I've always been like an open book.
Yeah.
But like not everybody in my life signed up for that.
Right.
A lot of like reality show people and like I feel like their husbands just aren't on it. Like they didn't sign up for it. Their wives did. But anyway, I took a video of my grandfather's closet. The next thing I know, I am fielding like phone calls from Phoenix, Arizona of like my grandparents' best friends. My mom's mad. My grandpa's mad. I'm calling them and apologizing. I just like loved the color coordination of his closet. But then his best friend called him and he's like, how does he know about my closet? And they're older. So he's like,
yeah, they're in their
why
70s.
Is my closet on the interwebs?
Right. So I could see that's like, it's like your closet, which I guess to a 70-year-old man, that's just weird, you know?
Yeah. And it felt very invasive to him.
Right.
So I had to apologize and we have to like ask people now, like, if we can tag them.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, and don't put that up.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just put I'll just put it down.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I just like to share.
I want you guys to be here.
I know. Like, that's really what it is. I don't even like the showing off. I'm not like, and if I do, I'll even say that I'll be like, holy shit, like, look at this. Like, this is cool. But not like, oh my God, my life's so amazing. It's usually when my life's going wrong. Right. That I'm sharing.
Yeah.
I'm like, car's broken down again, guys. I'm on the side of the road. We can get back to that.
You know, let's get back to that. But one last thing I want to say about that is like the way that we just described our situation on like social media is like, you know, that there's probably some fucking 50-year-old dude out there in the woods that if he heard that, he'd be like, you two are my fucking nightmare. You know what I mean?
I say things and I have like accepted it, but like we also know that like social media is a business. Of course, I worked in it for years on the other side of influencer marketing. And like, but when people even hear me and I'm like, yeah, like we're trying to do like the influencing thing, like we're deciding to go for it. They're like, oh my, you're the worst human. Like they're like, oh, like I hate it. And I'm like, okay, it's a job, but it's fine.
Yeah, content creation.
Yeah, but people like have very strong opinions. And then because of that, like the related things that we say sometimes just sound awful.
Yeah, no, for sure. I had one guy, he just said, he was like, I just don't really understand the point of broadcasting your life because we are literally sitting here with cameras and lights broadcasting like our thoughts and like, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I just think it's like, maybe it's a personality.
It is a weird personality thing. So there's like a blogger that I follow. She's like a healthy girl that I have literally followed for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like when I kind of stepped back and I actually got out of blogging when I was doing my food blogging for a while because I was like, is this weird that I just want to tell everybody everything about my life? And like, is this like a personality flaw or just like wanting attention or the dopamine hit? But then I was like, you know what? She'll literally be like, I woke up today and this was my thought in bed and this is what I had for lunch and and I'm interested. Yeah. I don't know why. Why do we watch reality TV? And like, I wouldn't want her to stop sharing. I'm attached to her child, her like husband. I know their whole love story. Yeah. I've watched her as she like got ill. I went and she had a meetup in New York. I went and did it. It like fangirled. But then what was weird is I met girls that I became friends with because it was like, it was bizarre though, because it's like, oh, you too have watched her life for 10 years. So we all just know her very well. She doesn't know who we are, but like all of us had like the same kind of interests. Yeah. Like we were all gluten-free. Yeah. We all like obviously we all lived in New York, but then she would always talk about like angel numbers and things like that. And I thought it was kind of weird 5 years ago when she was like talking about her special number she saw all the time. Like, I always see 33 and like, but the fact that she shared that, it attracted, like if you just start being yourself, you're literally going to find people who are just like you.
That's why I don't find it weird at all. You know, like when you talk about this, like when you talk about like following this girl online, like I just think that it makes kind of sense, like you said, because it's like they clearly have an interest.
Yeah, but it's like, you're sort of psychic too. And you like, and I was like, wow, she's just like, I've always been really like insecure about that kind of stuff. And like, I have just now started like telling people, yeah, I have visions. Yeah, I have this. But like 5 years ago, she was just like, yeah, I do. And I was like, wow, she's just open about it and doesn't care about the criticism. Right. So then I don't know. No,
I hear that. But I think like people are just kind of interested in other people's lives for like some weird, like tribal, not maybe tribal mentality, but just like kind of like social, like pack thing. Because like, I mean, do you ever have like random people from way far away in your past that are so insignificant that you think about a lot?
Yeah.
Like, I have this guy.
The first one that popped into my head is messed up, but go on.
No. I have like, there's this guy that I knew in elementary school, middle school. We went to I don't know if we went to high school together, but he was this like nerdy Indian guy named Adil Hassan. And like, I don't know, Adil always pops in my head. And I'm not like, for literally no reason. It's not that I thought he was funny. It's not that I thought he was weird. Yeah. It's not that I was attracted to him. Literally no reason. Just kind of pops in my head.
This one girl, I saw her pick her boogers and like, I'm not kidding. We were sitting in like kindergarten. She would pick them and then she would wipe them on her knee and then she would like kind of arrange them in like a design and it's never left me.
Well, that's like,
I don't know
that's
why.
like, that's so repulsive in a
I
mesmerizing
know
way.
it grossed me out so much. It was seared into my brain, and I will randomly think about it.
I could, yeah. I mean,
I wonder if everyone has a person. Now I want to know people.
Oh, I bet.
You tell me yours, like a random person from your past on our Instagram. We're gonna make this a clip.
I know,
because I want to hear everyone's like weird. Like, why do you remember it?
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like so and so like farted in class one time.
Yeah.
Like
so and so peed on so and so's binder in the middle of
think about where
class.
she is, and then she ate the booger. Sorry, I missed that key part. It scarred me.
Oh my gosh.
Her name is Molly. Sorry, Molly. I don't remember her last name.
Molly.
Yeah.
I
I can tell you what she looks like and everything. It's seared.
Just poster like a yearbook photo on our Instagram, like a goddamn mugshot. I'm just kidding.
Booger. But I wonder where she's at in life.
Yeah, no.
Like, where do booger eaters end up?
I don't know.
Someone's probably going to be like, there's a study that booger eaters are actually smart.
I know. Silicon Valley is full of like booger eaters, and that's why they prefer like I don't know.
I don't know.
But no, yeah, I bet a lot of people like. Do you have like just memories that are just seared into your brain for no reason? Like,
yeah,
I have this like. Oh, this one's really weird. Okay, I was
wait.
on. Oh gosh. Okay, so I was in our mom's minivan, and we were at the side of the road on the highway, and stopped at a red light, and like there was this like brush, these grasses blowing in the wind, and I thought to myself, I want to see how long I can remember this. And I still remember it. And then one time I was telling someone about this, and they told me that they have a memory about a dead big white moth that they found like when they were playing on the sidewalk or something. So we like connected on this, but then I brought it up to that person like 10 years later, and she was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Wow, I remember your oldest memory."
That's
the
nuts.
white moth. And she was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." I'm like, "You told me the story. We were connecting on like, you know."
Doesn't the brain actually remember everything? Like, it's filed in there? Like every little, not a scientist, but I'm pretty sure I've read this somewhere that like when you're taking in the sights that like your brain actually remembers that drawer was open. There was that pillow there. Like it has like actually a photographic thing. We just like can't access it.
I've heard that like they're not sure because like, is it the amount of information that would have to be able to be stored to recall is like not possible, but yet we can recall things. Mm-hmm. And so that's why some people say like, you know, we have like our working memory, our short-term memory, our long-term memory, but then we have like things that can trigger memories that we didn't even know we had. And so people are like, that's how you know we have like a higher consciousness because we can like
store it in the consciousness.
Be like, oh.
In acting class, we talked about collective consciousness.
Yeah.
And my acting teachers, they had taught in LA for many, many years. And the method that we kind of pull off of is the Meisner method, if anyone knows. But, you know, like method acting. And then this one's called the Meisner method. Mm. They did a modified Meisner called the creative acting process. And so you meditate on a certain thing. So like, I'm drunk. And then like you become that. But they've seen people who can convince them like, I'm high on heroin. Yeah. And they've never done heroin. It'll be like a 17-year-old girl in their acting class. And the way that her body and she acts like able to get in that meditative state has pulled from the collective consciousness. And all of a sudden, like she's on, and she has to, so part of the process is you have to meditate out of this state. Right. Because like after the I'm drunk, you will not be able to drive, which it took me like a couple years of like studying but the first time it like happened for real for me, and I was like wasted. Yeah. Or and I didn't one time I didn't meditate to get out, and it was because like you're just kind of like okay, the scene's over. My like sister had died in this scene. It was like something really like messed up, and I didn't get out of character. And then we like watched ourselves on TV, and I like got so upset, and I was like crying in the middle of class in front of all these people. And then I was so embarrassed. Right. Because I was like, oh, I'm upset with my performance. And I was like bawling, and I was like, I had to go to the bathroom. And my acting coach came and got me, and they go, did you get out of character? And I was like, well, no. And they were like, you're still upset like subconsciously about your sister dying. That's why you're having a meltdown. But anyway, you can pull from.
Yeah.
It's just very interesting.
No, absolutely.
So I believe in it because like, and especially the way they would tell me and the way it would hit me, you can put yourself in states that you've never been in. I've never had my sister die.
Yeah.
Because I don't have one.
Yeah.
But I felt those real emotions. Right.
I think, yeah, I mean, and is that just like the brain tricking yourself into like making you believe that that's what that feels like, or are you actually like feeling something, you know?
But if a 17-year-old girl had never even seen what someone would act like on heroin.
Yeah.
So her subconscious knew what that would be like. Like she had no idea. They were like, just try it. Just meditate on it. And then she was like the exact, which I feel like is kind of like unethical. I don't, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, she'd never looked it up or Googled it but it was like the exact symptoms.
Huh. Yeah, I bet. I've had dreams where I've like done a lot of heroin. I've never done heroin, but like, I've had dreams that I'm like shooting up heroin and I'm like, and I feel like I know what it's like because I like have been addicted to heroin in my dreams before.
I feel like we need to analyze that.
I know. I kind of feel that.
That's kind of crazy, Nick.
No, I have all sorts of weird dreams like that. Like, yeah, I dream that I'm pregnant all the time, like full on, like 9 months pregnant.
What?
Mm-hmm. You know, one of my worst dreams. This is a reoccurring dream. I am a knight, or no, not a knight. Like something less than a knight, like a soldier.
Okay.
During the medieval times, and I have to go around the battlefield and like put down all like my fallen comrades like out of their misery.
Have you looked this up? I feel like that's it's got to be something.
It's fucking weird though, and it's like it's really traumatic.
Yeah,
because it's like you won the battle and like whatever, but then like you have to go and like literally put all your buddies like out of misery with like a spear.
It's upsetting.
I know
it's
like a horrible dream. Yeah.
I have a reoccurring dream that my front teeth fall out.
That's super common.
That's a normal dream
common,
though.
Yeah.
It means that you're like letting go of something subconsciously.
Yeah.
That part of you is like dying. But that dream is traumatic. It happens to me like every couple years. And it's always when like a breakup, when like I think I've actually like subconsciously like decided to move on from it and like let it die.
It's super crazy to look up like what other people think dreams mean because you know, the teeth falling out one or being pregnant, I feel like you can kind of see like you're like
giving birth to a new idea. Was it like when you wrote your book?
I don't really know, to be honest. I can't really remember, but you know, I was in England and I kept on having a reoccurring dream that I was having tea with the queen. And this is super weird because she would always be in a different colored, you know, whatever, dress, hat. And she would always like pretty much like send me a riddle so if I could find her. And then I'd have to go figure out the riddle to find her. And then once I found her, she'd be so impressed. And she's like, oh, please serve me tea, you know? And she would kind of like teach me how to serve tea and like, you know, and critique me on it. And this one was super weird, but I'm in England, right? And I love tea. So I'm like, I didn't think too much of it until I had heard somewhere that someone had a dream about having tea with the queen. I was like, wait, I've had that too. So I looked it up and I didn't find much about it online, but it said it's often associated with homosexuality. So isn't that weird?
All the gay boys want to have tea with the queen.
Just like, yes, queen.
Yeah.
Pour that tea, sis. No, but like, yeah.
You were at Pride in England too, right?
Yeah. Brighton. Yeah.
You saw Britney Spears.
Yeah. I saw Britney Spears fucking headline Brighton's Pride Festival in front of 90,000 people. It was so good, but I had malaria, so I couldn't really like party. But then I also thought, was this the only time that someone's ever been to a Britney Spears concert with malaria?
I'd say that was probably exclusive to you.
I know. I feel like I'm the only one that's ever done that. And that's so me.
Cool.
Like, malaria, but Britney. Oh, I'm super tired.
We'll have to tell that story sometime.
Oh, I want to tell that story.
That's a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Nick almost died, but he's still with us today.
He's still with us today. And I made it to that Britney Spears concert.
Yeah.
But yeah, so dreams are crazy. Really, really nuts.
Okay, speaking of dreams, a dreamless night in the Days Inn.
Oh, okay.
We have to listen. So I was trying to let me just get back to where we were doing the past 2 weeks. I was trying to get Nick to come to Missouri with me for the wedding, and he refused. And you know why? He said he just had a gut feeling that it was going to be bad.
And since you were driving, I could have just hopped in the car.
Mm-hmm.
I could have just hopped in the car and go, and I didn't have to work really. I had like a few shifts, but like I could have really tried to get them covered. Like if I was gone, but I just said, no, I'm not going.
He said, it just doesn't feel right. I was like, you could accompany your sister cross country.
I was like, nah.
Miss me with that.
Yeah. In the moment I saw on your Instagram story, because, we broadcast everything we do, Francesca she just took like a dark kind of dusty photo of this motel out in Boonville, Missouri.
Boonville.
And I said, thank God. I think I was like drinking a beer somewhere. And I was like, thank God I'm not in Boonville, Missouri in a motel.
And you know that like I had a panic attack and was crying.
And yelling. But it would have been incredibly stressful.
Yeah. And then I get into this hotel, which I actually thought that I was going to have to sneak my dog in. But don't worry, I walk into the hotel and it smells like straight animal urine.
Oh,
and I'm like, and the lady checking me in, she was actually very nice. Her name was Mickey.
Mickey.
Yeah, I feel like there's always like a Mickey.
Like a Mickey.
In, I don't know, in those small towns. Like, I'm sure she also worked at the bar.
Yeah.
Like the pool hall, the local one. I don't know. Anyway, so it smells like straight urine. I'm just like... It's been pouring down rain. Well, when I left here, it was blizzarding, and then it turned into pouring down rain. It did not let up, like windshield wipers the whole time. First, I'm sorry, we got to back up.
It did blizzard the moment you left.
Yes.
And I was with our friend Kaylee, and she goes, I think it blizzard just because Francesca left on a cross-country road trip. I was like, I know, because it'd been really nice like the entire week before. Then just blizzard.
Blizzard. My heat went out. So... You guys, I just told a story last podcast. Like I was like, I'm never getting in a car alone again. Let me just drive. Like, and it was because I wanted to like pick up clothes from my parents' house that they should have just shipped them. I should have flown. But anyway, well, fine. I can bundle up, but with the heat out, you don't have any,
Oh,
fog.
defroster.
Defroster,
yeah.
That's the word. Thank you. So I couldn't see.
Right.
And it was like so icy, and then my windshield wiper was kind of broken, and I had to keep like rubbing it and like making it warm, like but then I'm like calling Dad, and he's like, roll down your windows so the air is like equalized. So I had to drive with the windows down. That's how I got rid of the fog.
Okay.
So that it's pouring down rain the whole way. All of a sudden, my car just says reduced engine power and shuts down.
I've never heard of that before.
So if your car has like an issue so that you don't hurt your car, it reduces the engine power. It doesn't shut off so you can safely get off the road.
Yeah.
For the next like 20 seconds. So I like pull over and I'm like, but the side of the highway it's a small shoulder.
Yeah.
And it's pouring down rain to the fact where it looks like nighttime outside, but it's daytime. And, it's just semis like coming so close to me that it's like shaking my car. Man. And I'm like, so I just started up again. I'm like,
just gonna make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my dad was like, I don't think what you're doing is like going to hurt it to drive on it. This was 10 hours. No, I'd say like 7 hours left of like my 14-hour trip. It just keeps doing it.
So did you have to like wait?
Yeah, I'd wait like a minute or two.
Oh,
and then I'd start it back
not
up.
Like 10 minutes or anything.
And then it would either drive for a minute and shut off again, or it would go for like 40 minutes. And I didn't know what the rhyme or reason was, but I was just trying not to upset her. Regina, that is. And Za's like, the fuck is going on? She's upset. I'm upset. Anyway, I do this for a few hours, but that now it's like 3:00 in the morning. And my dad's like, you can try and get home. But like, I also I left here at 7:00 in the morning.
Right.
So like my coffee was wearing off. I'm freaking out and I'm like, I just can't. So like, I have to pull over. So I'm in Boonville, Missouri. I go to the Days Inn and, I get into the room and after everything, like there's like an empty, it's burned. I feel like it was art almost. It's just burned into my mind. There's just like an empty Cheetos bag on the floor. Like there's trash on the floor in my room.
Like the moment you open the door. It's
Yes,
just like,
trash.
And it's so emblematic.
And like urine spots all over because it's, I guess the pets are allowed and they don't care about anything.
Yeah.
So there's like urine and empty food containers. And I'm like, I'm going to pop a couple Xanax and I'm just never going to remember this room. It's like, I don't remember a thing about this. It's not like I'm going to go complain. I'd like a clean room. No. I was like, we're at the Days Inn.
Did you take a shower in the morning?
Oh my God, no. Nick, I got out of there.
Yeah.
No. I had some shitty coffee.
Oh no.
And I got right back in my car.
You know, one time I
$68.
It was
sorry,
that's
well, it was $48, $20 non-refundable pet fee.
Oh, gotcha. Well,
but I was pretty cheap.
Pretty cheap, yeah.
Days End. Never again. Sorry.
You know, one time I was at a hotel in India and I turned on the shower and like literally like green sludge just squirted me in the face and it didn't work. And I just said, okay, and I just kind of like wiped it off like with the towel in the sink, and I was like, I'm not showering.
Because I'm not going to India.
You would die.
No, Nick told me, he was like, maybe just not for you.
Not for you. But yeah, that's why I feel like if the hotel room is gross, the shower is grosser. You know what I mean?
That wasn't even.
So
I slept in all my clothes. I didn't derobe. I didn't brush my teeth.
Derobe.
I like.
On like a
it was one of these,
pillow.
and I was like, "Za, come."
Comes up.
Just. I was like, "We're in this together. We will get through it." And when I turned on the air, like the heat, it smelled.
Oh no, that's not good.
And I was like, "We're gonna turn that off."
Just gonna.
I just try and forget. Yeah. Like I could have slept in the car, but it was, you know,
it was cold.
It was actually really cold because it's raining and everything. Anyway, but I made it, and
Mom took you shopping.
Yeah. Sorry, let's switch modes. I was not getting upset.
All right, meditate out of character.
Get me out of character. And I really like got into how I felt in that Days Inn.
So glad I wasn't there.
Yeah, Nick, we had like enough on the road trip of that.
Yeah.
But we went to the wedding. The wedding was the most gorgeous, insane wedding I've ever been to.
Cool.
They flew the band in from LA. I felt like I should have paid tickets for this show.
I heard multiple people at the wedding that were like, that band was so insane.
Yeah, dude. It was awesome. Everything was like first class. It was gorgeous. The dresses were amazing. Everything fit. My friend looked like a vision.
Yeah.
Everything was great.
Good.
I made it home. No hiccups, right?
But then you had to like fix your car.
Oh yeah, that's why I was stuck.
So not only did it take you 27 hours to get home from St. Louis, but it was like when it only should have took 14, but then you were gone for like 11 days.
Yeah, because we had to like get my car into the mechanic and then they quoted us like $5-6 grand. So we're like going to take it to the family mechanic, take it there. And then I had to take it to a tire place. Basically like Regina was just like upset. And she cost $3,000 to fix. I'm in the hole. I'm in the hole.
Well, I mean, that's kind of why I feel like that was my gut feeling. Like my gut reaction was right. Like, don't get in that car.
Yeah. And then I'm literally in the hole. And then Nicholas and like the candles. You and I need to budget.
Yeah. Budget. We need to start. We spent a lot of money on candles the other day.
Which is a consumable.
Yeah. Because it can't.
Goes. Nick yesterday was like, so you burn it and then you're left with a jelly jar. That's all we have. We have a graveyard of jelly jars.
Yeah. How much was this guy?
That's $14 at Target.
And like it's gonna give us a lifetime of like pleasure.
So I love it. I love him.
Do you guys like the flamingi? But yeah, candles. I go through them like I go through Busch Light cans.
But I will say they do bring joy to my life.
Absolutely.
I don't like lights on at night besides the ring lights in our studio.
I do love a good ring light.
But I would just rather have candles on. It like sets the mood. We're chilling. Like
Walk in my room. It looks like the Sistine Chapel. Just kidding.
But do you guys, I want a piece of this economic pie.
Right.
The candle business.
I know. They must be making so much money. I need a...
Candles are like $25 minimum.
Minimum. No, they're like 15 minimum.
Fine.
Unscented
They're like Walmart.
cylinders are going to be,
Yeah, full of chemicals.
Yeah. But
I feel like we're buying some brand name hipster shit out here.
I mean, yeah. Well, in Aspen, I saw these candles that were like $85. And then that sent me down a whole TikTok rabbit hole of like...
Candle influencers?
No, not candle. Well, there are candle influencers, but then there's like talking about like home decor, like wealthy people in certain candles. And like, Versace does candles. They're like $500, but then there's also like super expensive, like $3,000 candles that, like if kind of deal, and or some brand that you've never heard of. But then there's like unmarked candles that are sort of brandless that might be $10,000, and like that's what like the ultra elite rich know, because
so Kim Kardashian's 18
probably, or maybe not even her, because it's not. Yeah. It's just like I'm talking like ultra like status of like candles, and that's I was like really I need to do like a economic research paper on everything candles. Yeah.
So you're saying like I have a new like level I want to get to?
No, I'm saying
in my
that,
life,
like,
where I can spend $10,000 on a candle and burn it.
How like yeah, 100%, 1,000%. And with the Versace candles are cool because like it comes in a nice like very classic, recognizable like ceramic pot basically. Okay. Right? But like how like people say that Gucci and Louis Vuitton are like what poor people think rich people wear, and then there's like brands that we've never even heard of that are 15 times more expensive.
Yeah.
Their candles do the same thing. And you kind of have to be like a billionaire to know. I mean, I wouldn't know.
Find out for us.
No, I will.
What if we poured... Nick and I are going to buy some beeswax.
I bought some already. It's in my closet. I have 100 wicks and beeswax.
You
like
have
a pound of beeswax. Wicks.
We're going to start making candles. Hey guys, visit our merch store. We have t-shirts and candles. We actually have a meeting to make a logo this week.
Yeah, we do.
We're doing it, guys. Mm-hmm. It's happening. We're getting official. Not sure what we're going to put on the merch yet, but there's some merch in the works.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, I want to say, while Francesca was dealing with those like being trapped in Missouri, we actually like Missouri. It's like not bad being there and stuff. Like as you were doing your thing in Missouri, and I was like, wow, I'm so glad I didn't go. I was having to deal with this mountain bike. Oh, okay. Goodness. So I want to talk about this mountain bike. Anyway, I have this mountain bike that I have left with someone in Aspen.
Have you ever ridden the bike?
I've ridden the bike.
How many times?
Probably like 5 times.
But you went to Vail to be out. Like it was an issue. Like you went through a lot to get this bike. It's
incredibly hard to get a mountain bike in Colorado.
Mm-hmm. Okay, for like under $3,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much, And so I basically found this bike. I was talking to this guy and he was like, yeah, it's first come, first serve. Come get it. And I'm talking to all my mountain bike friends and they're like, you need to go get that bike. And so I basically just left work early, drove over there because he said this other guy's trying to buy it. So I sped over there, got the bike, but the other guy that was trying to buy it was already there. And so the guy who was selling the bike looks at us and was like, he was here first with cash in hand. But then he looks at me, he goes, but you kind of look like more fun. And I was like, he goes, I just feel like you'll ride it more. But, oops. But anyway, so I got the bike. I come back, made it in time for happy hour with all of our cousins. We're in Breckenridge actually at that time.
Oh, yeah.
So then I have it in Aspen. Didn't really ride it much because we were we were working a lot in Aspen and stuff. But then once we lost our housing, I left the bike. I was just I have no room in my car.
We couldn't fit it.
We couldn't fit it. I was and so I left it with my friend. So I was like, sir, please hold on to my bike. Now, that was last August. Flash forward to a year, pretty much, or almost 8 months from now. I'm like, hey, where's my bike? Can't give me a straight answer.
Well, first, here's the thing. We didn't worry about it because he said, I have taken the bike and I have put it in my van. Van was broken down, so it was basically just a shed. Like
a parked shed.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, no, grabbed the bike. It's in my van. Don't worry. You can get it whenever. So we're taken care of. Fine.
So then I was like, oh, I need to come get my bike. He was like, yeah, I need to find that. You what? You need to. And now since it's been winter, you don't really go mountain biking in the winter. So I just figured he had it, for the winter. I should have gone and gotten it, but so he just like couldn't give me a straight answer on like where this bike was. And I'm like, okay, well, this is super weird. And I've like texted him about it.
And he was like, oh yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's good, I think. And he was like, and so then we go to Aspen and we check up on him. He still is like, yeah, I mean, I don't know where it is. I mean, I haven't checked on it, but I'm sure it's fine.
And he was like, well, first in the middle of winter, because you had checked up on it like 6 months ago, and he was like, it might be in a block of ice.
Right.
We
He might have left it outside.
Which ruins the bike, guys.
Yeah.
Not completely. You'd still have the frame, I guess, but you would have to get new.
It's very damaging to the whole system, the whole apparatus. Yeah, for a winter. And I'm talking to all my mountain bike friends, and they're all like, "Ooh, it's fucked. It's fucked." And I'm like, "Okay, sure."
So we just want to go check on it and like see if it survived the winter.
And
but
he still couldn't tell us where it was. And it wasn't like he was being so vague about it. And so I'm like, he must have like sold it or something. He's like, listen.
We were pretty sure he sold it for drugs.
He was like, I'll get you a new bike though. And I was like, okay, dude. And he's like, look, I got this nice bike right here. You can have that if you want. It's like, it should fit you. And I'm like, I just feel like I would just want my bike. Like, where's my bike? Like, why can't?
And you're like, is that your bike?
I know.
Or are you giving me a bike? Like, is that someone else's? And you're telling me just to take it because I don't live here?
And then you know what I mean? And so the whole thing. Okay, so I'm just like, whatever. And so we ended up not getting the bike that trip because it was like late night and we were like partying and stuff like that. And he was kind of hard to track down anyway. And we also like, I didn't know if this bike existed, right? Like if it was like in whatever. And so I was kind of like, okay, whatever. And so I was talking to my friend, and so she was like, Nick, you need to go get your bike. Like whether it's not your physical bike or that new bike, like get you a bike. And so I'm like, okay. I feel like I'm just saying bike light, bike. But anyway, so I'm like, okay. So I text my other friend in Aspen, and I was like, hey, she comes back and forth between Frisco and Aspen all the time. I was like, could you actually get that bike or my bike and just bring it to me? You need to like ask Chris. And she goes, Chris moved to Key West. So I'm sitting here like, he what? He what? He moved where? So she was like, yeah, he moved. No, she didn't tell me Key West. She phrased it. This is a text message. Chris moved to the ocean. And I'm like, he what? Turns out it was Key West. So then I call him immediately and I'm like, dude. And he was like, don't worry, we'll get you a bike, dude.
But like, we just like, were like, I was like, answer me straight. Did you take the bike and physically put it in your van like you said in a text message? And I think we got to the bottom of no.
Yeah.
But he didn't really like, like it's like relative and it's, and I'm like, it's not. Did you put it in your van?
Is the bike in the van?
And he was like, well, like I like chained it up somewhere. So he's like, it's probably still wherever I think I may have put it, unless, the police came and took it.
Right. Yeah. And if the ice has melted by now.
Yeah. But we're like, so where? And he's like, unclear.
He was just kind of like, I think it's
It was just like circles. And so it's like, I just thought it was weird. It's like, why would you text someone and tell them you did it? If he was like, yo, I don't have room in my van, whatever. It's like, we would have like driven back to Aspen.
I would have been like, we got to go get that
we got to get it before it freezes.
Right. You know what I mean? And like, I would have just thought to like be a little bit more.
Yeah. I was like, so did you lie? And he was like, absolutely not. And I was like,
but something's not adding up here. Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, I call him and he's just like, yeah, so I am moving to the ocean tonight, actually. I was like, oh, so you're still in Aspen? He's like, yeah. I was like, can you please go check on the bike? He's like, yeah, if I get around to it, if I kind of know where it is. And I'm like, okay. So
Aspen's very small.
So he does call me back.
5 blocks.
He does call me back later and he says, hey, good news. The bike is still there. It's there. I say, oh my gosh. Okay. I know it's probably majorly damaged, but whatever, at least like I have it. Like, I don't know, like, is he taking the other bike to Key West? Whatever. And he goes, yeah, except, one problem. And I was like, oh my God. And then he goes, I just like can't find the key and it's like chain to a tree using a U-lock. And it was my U-lock that's like titanium.
Oh, it's not even like a chain.
No, it's not a chain. It's a U-lock. So he was just like, yeah, so it's there.
So I get a text. I think I was like at the wedding, and I get a text from Nick, and he goes, all right, Francesca, so the bike's been found, but Chris has moved to Key West. And he goes, so what?
Okay. Yeah.
I know what you said, but I don't think I need to say this about this person. He was like, all right, is this man going to send me a treasure map to the bike? And I'm just going to take bolt cutters into the most expensive neighborhood in the United States.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm just imagining like this treasure map. Like what? Like, you know, he's not going to give me like straight up like
it's going to be like 10 paces from the.
He's going to like, and if you like look to the left,
there's
you should see
pot.
a bush, right? And that bush should point, to a flower pot. And I'm just going to be like, all right. So we do have an episode that I'm just going to call it like it. We're going on a journey.
We're going to go on a mission
to go find my mountain bike. And
Nick, should we take the police with us? Otherwise, someone's going to call the cops on us.
I guess we could probably.
It's a very small community.
No, we will get fucking arrested immediately. Like
Aspen, even more so. Yeah, I think we could get them involved.
Go knock on the firehouse. You know what I mean?
Oh, they probably have cutters to get people out of cars. The jaws of life are what they call it. Guys, we've talked about how hot the Aspen Fire Department is. Wait, I love this.
Now we have a ploy. You know?
Wait, I'd love to meet them.
I know. And now
didn't someone say you can just go knock on the door?
That was me. I was saying that. And you were like, no, you can't. And I was like, no, you can literally go knock on the door.
Don't they have a Dalmatian there?
Aspen does. Aspen does have a Dalmatian.
So cute.
Yeah.
Let's go get some pics.
Francesca, get a pic of me in like the
fire truck with a hat on.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go down the pole. Wait, I can't wait. We gotta pencil this in.
So I decided to call this journey the most adventurous story about a mountain bike that does not involve mountain biking. You know,
this bike's never going mountain biking.
It's just
if
a
it's
relic
destroyed, we should put it on the wall.
Oh.
You know, like restaurants hang bikes on the wall. I don't know why it's a thing.
Yeah.
But
and
we could do that.
Now it's like a story. Like, what's up with the bike? I'm like, that bike has seen some shit. Okay. It is a relic of our journey.
God, could you imagine though if we got arrested like stealing a bike? Because that's what I was going to say before is that like these small towns, like people know. It's like when we moved to town, it was like, who are you?
Like who you got? Yeah, exactly.
Where are you from? Where are you living? Who are you friends with? Who do you know here? Like, why did you move here?
Right. And how did you afford to do this? You know, it's kind of like that, right? So me is someone in some part of the neighborhood that might not know me with bolt cutters. Dude.
No.
I'm going to be put in jail.
100%. I bet the jail's nice.
I bet the jail's super nice.
Knock on wood. I don't ever want to go to the Aspen jail, but like,
I mean, if you went to jail.
I've been to jail.
You've been to jail multiple times, haven't you?
No, just once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never been to jail. Knock
on some wood. Because you know what? A week before I went to jail, I had never been. And I was like, I feel like that's an experience like everyone should have. I was like, I feel like I would just like kind of want that experience once. Went the next week. It was awful.
Yeah.
Metal toilets, people watching you. And I was taunted.
Didn't they like spitballs at you? Or did I make that up?
You made that
would have
up.
been a lawsuit.
They did. I was mean first, though. And then, because I'm sassy.
Francesca, when you're locked in a cell, do not be mean to the people who have the keys.
So they said, yeah, we'll let you out in an hour. And they went home.
Oh. They probably had sex with their wife.
No, they went home and left me. And I was very hungry. And so till the morning.
Do they feed you?
No.
Oh.
It was at night, and then they didn't come back till like 7 or 8 in the morning.
So did you sleep?
No, because I literally thought like they were coming back, but like I couldn't see anything. I didn't know. So think of like every 15 minutes, you think someone's coming back in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they just like didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And
wow.
And then they wouldn't let the bail bondsman pick me up, like get me out. And they were like, no, and like kept saying no, and like they wouldn't let me call. It was like. I was really mean first. Wasn't under the influence of anything. I just like sometimes get very like, I would say like kind of entitled. And sometimes I'm a little mean and not my best move.
Yeah.
Don't be mean to the cops.
It's just always going to, like,
never
you're
gonna
always
work.
going to lose.
It's always
going to lose.
I felt like a trapped animal, actually. It was like it was actually one of the worst feelings
You
in my
always
life.
need to limit the amount of time with you. Make sure as little amount of contact with police as possible.
I like asked them if they were losers in high school. And I was like, oh, mid-Missouri, like police officer. So you like couldn't do anything else with your life. Like I like went hard and I called one of them fat. So,
they've heard it all before though.
Yeah.
But they're not going to
But
let you out.
I think they thought I was on something.
Because
but that's just me.
Yeah.
Like, so they kept like holding me and we did like a blood test and whatever. And they were like, this bitch isn't on anything.
Fucking, she needs to be jailed. Can't let her out.
I know.
Oh,
I was recently like, I met this guy and we were like chatting and he was like, I just like, you check all my boxes and you're just so wonderful and like all this stuff. And I was like, calm down. I go, you don't even know me. I was like, I'm kind of crazy. And he was like, well, it's just like, what? Like, how? Like, give me an example. And I was like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
You know, when you meet, Chris Rock says this in like a stand-up. He's like, when you're on a date with someone, you're not meeting them. You're meeting the representative.
I know.
Isn't that the best way to put it? It is literally like your representative. Oh, I do this. I do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the things you kind of wish you did. Someone told me, did I say this? Oh, I did. On a past one, whatever. I'm gonna say it again because I think it's great. What does your typical Saturday look like?
Yeah, we have talked about this.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best date questions.
Mm-hmm. But you're still getting like
still a representative answer.
Because don't you love it how people like say that they do thing like once a summer, and they're like, yeah, I'm really into camping. You went once.
I noticed in my Tinder profile the other day. That I had climbing,
like rock climbing. No, you got into it.
I was. There was a time.
Had a gym membership.
Yes, I did. I had a membership. I was going, but still like once a week, but like in Missouri in an indoor gym. But I did. I had like a climbing partner and like I would go. So it's not like I lied, but like I've lived in Colorado for almost 3 years now and I've been once.
I've been once.
Yeah. So like, and it was like, hey, I think my profile says like, let's do all the, like, let's grab a drink. Like, I love like hiking, climbing, like music, like outdoors, like, you know, let's go somewhere and get a drink. Something super chill, but I was reading it the other day. I go, climbing? I haven't been in 3 years. Some dude's going to be like, oh, she's really into climbing. And like, because climbing people are into climbing.
Yeah.
A lot, especially out here. They go every weekend. They've got a partner. They've got a place. And I was like, I do not want to misrepresent. That's not how I'm spending all my weekends.
Yeah.
Nor do I want to.
No.
I'd like to go.
I hate it. I'm
like
actually open. Like, I have been climbing a lot in my life and I have just decided that I don't like it. It's just not my thing. No hate. I just don't.
Yeah. I actually brought my harness from home and my enema kit. Least I'm so excited about these things.
Climbing and shitting.
Yeah. I bought a bunch of random stuff. Fruit bowl.
I'm glad you have the fruit bowl back.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's a big white fruit bowl. It's ceramic. What else? I bought us really exciting.
Hold up. So when I went to St. Louis, like a couple whatevers, and I didn't bring the fruit bowl home because you had mentioned to me a month prior that when I go back to St. Louis,
I yelled at you.
I need to get the fruit bowl. And like, okay, it was Sarah. She asked me, she's like, Nick, what are you doing right now? I'm like, I don't know. Francesca's yelling at me about a hypothetical fruit bowl. Or like, you know what I mean?
Okay,
like,
see, that's an example of like how I could explain to a man that like I'm a little crazy.
I'm getting yelled at about a fruit bowl.
Like I am very moody and sometimes like, and you know this, you're my brother. So you like literally don't care.
Yeah.
People who know me are just like, Francesca's upset about something else. She's going to yell about a fruit bowl for about 5 minutes. She's going to get very upset. She might cry. But then I usually walk away and I apologize right away. And I'm like, sorry, don't care about the fruit bowl. That's absurd. Also not your job. And sorry I yelled at you. And so people who know me are like, it's fine. Working on it. But Yeah, I was really upset about that fruit bowl.
You did like sit down over here and you looked at the wall and you go, that fucking fruit bowl. Like it was like under your breath, like my fruit bowl. I'm like, fruit bowl. Like just the word itself, I'm just is like something so uninterested about. Like
Every time we've been having our fruit in this ugly plastic blue bowl, Nick, like a mixing bowl from Walmart. Every time I've been looking at our bananas just sitting in the sad bowl, I've got upset.
It's just you just have this nice ceramic fruit bowl
just sitting
sitting
there
in Missouri all alone.
And you like at a
Fruitless.
24-hour trip. I think like you had been through some, like there was like some drama.
I was in St. Louis for 70 hours.
Yeah, and you were like, I'm sorry. Like I went to go see our grandparents. I hadn't slept. I went to a wedding and I was like, and you just were so inconsiderate that you
About the fruit bowl. And I was like, I'm not even like mad. I'm just kind of like, I'm just not dealing. Well, should we end on the fruit bowl now?
I don't know. I think there's something else.
I don't know.
That's so funny to me. Hold on, I'm going to check our list. The iPad's been charging because you guys, we use our phones to record the podcast
Yeah.
and we do our notes in the phone. Actually, we have a new thing that we got from Giggly Squad.
Shout out.
Did you know you could share notes, like a notes app? Because people always ask us how we play on the podcast. And you guys have seen we've each had our own notes that we love to read to each other. You can share a note. And that's the only way. It's just like what happened that week. Actually, it was cracking me up because like, so they'll see things pop up in their shared thing and it'll be like, what's like this? And it's like, I don't know, but I'm going to find out on the podcast. And I was like, that's going to be us. Hold please. All right. I don't drink Red Bull or these things. This is the second one, you guys. I am lit.
Really? I mean, I feel it, but
There's all these things in there.
I know.
This is just not on brand. I've been off brand lately. That's on brand. Nothing to bring me back. We're going to leave that. I don't feel like cleaning it during the podcast.
Yeah, just
It's fine. You want ants? That's how you get ants.
How you get ants?
Do they have ants? That's a stupid question. We have ants in Colorado.
Oh my.
What? We don't have like mosquitoes.
Yes, we do.
Do we?
Yep.
Oh, Mosquito Gulch. But like, I feel like bugs aren't as prevalent.
There's less bugs here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's a lot of ants. Everywhere has ants.
Yeah, I was
Like,
eating
maybe not
watermelon
Antarctica.
outside today, and I was throwing some to Za.
Mhm.
She doesn't like watermelon. So there's
Weirdo.
watermelon all over the back porch.
And ants.
Ants. Yeah, I saw them when I got back. I go, that's how you get ants.
Okay, one time, this girl I was hanging out with in high school, we were all like drinking over there, and my other friend was making toast because we all went through like a toast phase. We were just like really into toast, and anyway, I like threw her a piece of toast, and it missed and like went behind like the refrigerator, and the girls whose house was goes, "No, we're gonna get rats." But like the trauma response from like toast.
Rats are scary.
I know, but it was
New
just,
York,
like,
it's a
it was just
thing.
it was just funny. Like,
Yeah. No. In East Village,
yeah,
you have to like New York City rats, you guys. They're like
They're big.
raccoons.
They're big. Yeah.
And they live in the walls.
Yeah.
And they come for you. It's one of the like living down on Wall Street is nice. It's not as bopping. It's not the cool area to live in, like financial district, but like shit is nice because it's all the old, like a lot of older, like rich New Yorkers live down there, and they wouldn't put up with that shit.
No.
Like East Village, you're just kind of like, well, like I paid $3,000 for like this box, but like there's rats.
Yeah. We're out.
You got to be careful.
Already. All right.
Well, we're back, guys.
We're back.
And we're going to have consistent episodes every Thursday.
We're getting back to the every
And we're
Thursday
so
thing,
excited.
guys.
We're going to be full-time influencers now. We have some really exciting partnerships coming up.
Yeah.
And some real ones with some real brands you guys know. Because we started getting views. I love when I told mom and dad like our business plan.
Uh-huh.
And I said, well, Nick and I just like need to get like kind of famous, which Instagram famous, you know, whatever. Just like start getting views. You can't like from influencer marketing. It's not a crazy thing to say, but nobody gives a shit about your content.
Yeah.
Brands don't want to advertise on your content. So it was like, well, we just have to like hope people care about what we're doing.
Yeah.
Or hope it's entertaining and experiment and see. And so like our business plan right now is to like get views. And I was like, because then I can start negotiating with brands and doing sponsorships with things that we care about and like. Because you can't like reach out to brands and be like, hey, we have like 12 people listen. But we're there now. So we can start doing it full time, and it's a hustle. And so thank you guys so much. It means so much to us. And we love being like along for your drives and hangouts. And thanks for laughing with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is our alternate ending.
I know. We had a previous ending. We might release that one day.
Yeah. Sometimes we just say stuff that we gotta. I literally go. Nick goes, I don't know if we can release that.
I literally stopped recording. And was like, maybe not.
Immediately no. I've seen what I need to see.
I said maybe not. You go. That's insensitive on so many different levels. I was like, okay, let's record it.
You guys, I don't think I'm gonna start crying again.
Okay.
Anyway, I go. I think we should record an alternate ending.
If you guys ever catch us out and we say something that like maybe we should just never say, let me know. Just to like be like, hey.
Because when we re-listen, there's like a lot of things.
I know. I'm like, that was a little
spicy,
a little unnecessary.
Hey, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Hope you have an amazing weekend.
Bye bye.